All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you for clicking this video. This interview is amazing. Dr. Goldman gave so many golden nuggets. Encourage you to take out your phone, take out your notepad, write down some of the tips. I'll try and summarize in the description down below. But I am so grateful that he took time out of his day to answer some of my questions, and it's relevant for pre-meds, first years, third years, fourth years, and even resident students. So make sure to share this video with some of the friends that you think might benefit from that. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end of the video. One more thing, we were in a loud hall and I thought that the audio was going to be okay. It turned out to be a little bit loud. That's why I added subtitles so everybody can understand. Next time I'll make sure I'll be in the quiet room. Alright guys, see you at the end of the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Goldman, Brian Goldman. He's a keynote speaker and he's an emerge doc. And he also hosts a CBC radio show called White Coat, Black Art. And he gave us amazing information about empathy and his talk, and I'll try and summarize that later. But Dr. Goldman, could you tell me any piece of advice, maybe a summary of what your conversation was earlier this morning about empathy?
So basically, my jumping off point for talking about empathy and kindness was a case that I had in the emergency department where I was accused of unkindness. And the thing about being accused of unkindness is, when you get out in practice, you will occasionally be accused of getting things wrong or even of not being competent. And you can imagine that if a family's in distress because the outcome was really bad, they might start hurling accusations. When people outside of medicine accuse you of incompetence, there's a good chance they're wrong. Because there's shades of gray and they just don't understand. There might be something that they thought was within your control and it wasn't. On the other hand, when they accuse you of unkindness, they've got you busted. Because everybody knows kindness when they see it. And so that's really set me on my personal exploration. I wrote a book called The Power of Kindness. And the idea behind it was that I took a trip through my brain, through my heart, my personality around the world. I went to Japan. I went to Brazil. I went to New York City for the anniversary of 9/11 to go to the kindest bar, to meet the kindest bartender in the kindest bar in the world. Interestingly, I had pitched a book about empathy in healthcare, and my publisher, HarperCollins, thought, it's too niche, it's too narrow. Why don't you do a book about empathy and kindness in the world? And I did, and I don't regret it. It's been my most successful book thus far.
You mentioned you went to Brazil. I was actually born in Brazil. So in regards to your podcast, White Coat, Black Art, how did you come across starting it? Like, what pushed you to start it? What was the process for doing that?
So by the time I pitched White Coat, Black Art, it began in 2005 as a concept for a book. By that time, I had been a medical journalist since the early 1980s. So I had combined with emergency medicine my career as a journalist, working first in newspapers and magazines. I spent some time in television. I worked in radio, and radio is my favorite medium because it gives you a chance to be in depth and absorbing, and people can you've got time to string together more than a half a sentence. You can let people talk about something in depth, and so I had that career. I worked in television, as I said. For a year, I worked at Alliance Atlantis as a production executive at the launch year for a channel that was then called Discovery Health Channel. Eventually, it was bought up by Oprah Winfrey, so the Oprah Winfrey Network. I got laid off from that job, and for the next couple of years, I was kind of looking for ideas. And I came across an idea, basically to to write. It was a book proposal, and it was going to be about the disconnect between what doctors say to each other when they think patients aren't listening, and what they say to patients. And I actually got a title for it. I called it Medical BS. My agent tried to shop it around to publishers. Nobody wanted it. At the CBC, they were working on developing pilots for new shows, for summer shows. And so when he told me about it, I turned medical BS into what became White Coat Black Heart, and the rest is history. The show's been on the air continuously since 2007, and here we are in 2019-20, and we're going to be on for a full year.
So you did all of that while you were in Emerge Doc?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we're at 4 minutes. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Okay.
But what's your advice for managing time, managing energy? Because I know everybody's busy. Everybody can do a whole bunch of things, but you've been able to, become a Emerge Doc, be heavily involved in journalism and just media in general, and pursue the things that you're so passionate about. I feel like one of the fears as med students, like for me, is becoming almost a slave to education and like residency, not being able to pursue what I truly enjoy. Not that I don't enjoy medicine, but what would be your advice to be able to manage energy or time?
Well, it depends what you want to do with your spare time. If you have, I guess the first piece of advice is don't give up your hobbies as a medical student. Even though you have a huge amount of knowledge to try to amass in a short period of time, and you don't just want to kind of read it once, you want to review it, you want to get it inside your brain in a reinforced way so that you're actually applying the knowledge and not simply learning it for the sake of the test for an exam. We could ask the question of any medical student, what's your favorite hobby? When was the last? And then the second question is, when was the last time you did it? And for you, it might be 3 months ago. A year from now, it might be 15 months ago. And if you're giving up your kind of beloved hobbies, you're going to be giving up a part of yourself. It's part of what makes you you. So first of all, don't give up your hobbies. You've got to nurture yourself. You've got to spend time. And I'm not saying develop resilience. I hate that. I'm talking about just taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because medicine can be all-consuming now. So you're keeping your hobbies going. You're not going to be a writer unless you want to be a writer, or a television presenter, or host a podcast, which you're doing right now. If this is what you love to do, get as good as you can at it. Practice it, because like Malcolm Gladwell with your 10,000 hours, the more you do it, the better you'll be at it. The more you'll learn the tricks of the trade, the more you'll learn the pitfalls and things to avoid. While you're a student, while you're a resident, it is harder to juggle the responsibilities of amassing that knowledge and doing all the other things you love to do. When you're out in practice, it will be easier. So for me in emergency medicine, I selected part-time work so that I would have time to write. And you can do that as an emergency physician as long as you're not working in an academic facility where they expect you to actually fill the rest of the time teaching and doing research and administrative work, because that very quickly that will turn into a full-time job. I'm just saying that even for an emergency physician, it's easier to set limits once you're out in practice. As a family doctor in your practice, in your family practice, you can say, I'm going to hive off a day a week or 2 half days a week, and then all I'm going to do is either write or do research for my writing during those days. And you'll be more in control of your schedule at that point. Don't become a specialist who says, I went in too deep, I've invested so much time here, I only have so many years to practice, and I have to practice full-time to kind of make up for it, or to justify the amount of time I put into becoming a specialist, which might be, after high school, 10, 12 years of post-high school education, of higher learning.
One last question.
Sure.
In my mind, sometimes I view residency or even clerkship as maybe this dark period, just because I can't visualize it.
Right.
I hear horror stories almost.
Right.
What's the mindset that I should have, or my students have, to not be dragged down by maybe the negativity in your mind, but focus on the hope and what's in the future, that you actually do get to practice and help, and there is light at the other side.
So in my talk, I said, try not to live in the worried future or the regretful past, and that was a personal lesson for me. So you can certainly say to yourself, I'm doing this so that I will pass, okay? But you have to be able to kind of give yourself strokes in the here and now. because living for that distant goal will not always sustain you. So remember to say, I made it through another day, another hour of this rotation that I'm finding so challenging, or I don't like it. I don't like the culture here. If that's how you're feeling,
Right.
Or I made it through another rotation and I passed. Don't say to yourself, to look at the glass as being half empty and say, I didn't get as high a mark as I wanted. Okay?
Yeah.
Try to pat yourself on the back. Try to find things to be grateful for, things that you're happy about. If it was a tough rotation, give yourself a reward. I made it through, and I'm going to give myself this reward. I'm going to treat myself to a movie, or I'm going to go out to a bar, with my friends and hang out and just have a good time tonight.
Self-care. And
Self-care.
When you catch yourself in negative thoughts, just look positive. Be grateful, learn, but forgive yourself. Understand that we can make mistakes, and the lesson I'm learning is that you don't have to know everything, and it's okay to not.
You can't possibly know everything, and you'll meet people who will shame you for not knowing everything, and they're just shame prone.
Well, Doctor, thank you very much for this interview. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Good luck.
Thank you so much
Okay.
for the speech, and I hope to talk to you in the future.
Okay, in the emergency department. We'll see you.
Well, there you have it, guys. A quick summary of some of the things that Dr. Goldman said is study and review your notes so you don't forget it. Don't just study for the exam. Make sure to take time for your hobbies and enjoy life and the things that you like during medical school, because that is who you are. That is part of who you are. And have grace for yourself. Know that, yeah, you might mess up. You might have a tough day, but that's normal. Don't let that drag you down. And also that as a practicing physician, you're going to have time to pursue other things that you like. So there is light on the other side. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey of pursuing your medical career, and don't give up. It's meant to be difficult, but that's because it's super rewarding on the other side and even during that journey. So if you like the video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you want to receive more notifications whenever I upload, and please share this video with any of your friends that are med students, who are residents, and maybe even pre-meds who one day will want to become a doctor themselves, so that they can benefit from watching the video and listening to the advice. All right, guys, have a wonderful day.